It's working? Yeah. Okay. Good morning. Online people? Audible? Okay, great. So today is going to be the introduction class. I think you have got the handbooks, or you can access the website. You find most of the details there. And what we are going to be discussing is mostly about how the exam is, when the notification comes out, what are all the services, right? At the same time, how your preparation needs to be, how it's going to be staged, right? How we are going to have the classes, by when we can complete the syllabus, all these things. Okay. Any one of you who has given an attempt before? Anyone? You have given an attempt. When was it? Okay, last year you have given an attempt. Have you given an attempt before? No? Sit down. See, I'll tell you what are all the major drawbacks of most of the people who prepare for this examination. What mistakes you are not supposed to do, and what are the things that you need to do. I'll not tell you the strategy as such, because when you look at multiple people, multiple toppers, multiple strategies, then you come up with your own super strategy, which is not going to work. So why strategies don't work? Why don't they work? Somebody gives you strategy 1. In strategy 1, there will be pieces, right? There will be elements. Let's say there is element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. Now you start with one strategy. Complete element 1, complete element 2. By the time you come to element 2, stage 2 basically, in strategy 1, somebody tells you another strategy. They give you strategy 2. By this time, you feel like, okay, it is becoming difficult. Now, because another person gave a strategy, you go to this strategy. This also has how many elements? This also has 5 elements. Again you start. 1, 2. By the time you come to 3rd or 4th element, again you feel like it is too much. Somebody gives you 3rd strategy. Now, at the end of the year, when I ask you what strategy you followed, you know everybody's strategy except for not having done the work. You have watched n number of videos, but execution, nothing has been completed. This is a perennial problem for most of the candidates. I would say 99% of the candidates have this problem. Okay. So, what are we supposed to do? How the exam is? All these things we will discuss. And to start with, I would say this, Nelson Mandela. You know this person, Nelson Mandela? Yes? His famous quote is that it always seems impossible till that point you have done it. It always seems impossible. Till that point you have done it. Then you realize, okay, I have done it. That's what this exam is. To sum it up, that's how we see the exam. So when you start, you feel like there's so much to do. When I list out the subjects, you're like, so many subjects, will I be able to do it? That thought comes to every person. That thought should come. Yes? So you see the syllabus there, right? Everybody, have you gone through the syllabus once at least? Have you gone through it? Yes? Complete syllabus? Okay, if I just ask you, don't look into the handbooks that are given there. Okay? I'll tell you the easy way to remember the syllabus as well next. But then, now that you have said that you have seen the syllabus, you have gone through the syllabus, I'll just ask you simple questions, pointed questions. Where do we have internal security challenges? In which paper? Paper? Paper 2. Paper 2? GS paper 2. Wrong. Anyone? Online people, you also can answer. Where is internal security challenges in our syllabus? In which paper? Polity. That is GS2 only. No. GS3. The starting point of your preparation is this. The first assignment I am going to give it to you is going to be about knowing the syllabus entirely, where the topic is. Until and unless you know where the topic is located, I don't think you will be able to study also. Yes? 2 exercises I want you to do. The first exercise is the entire syllabus you should be knowing, as in the location of each topic. In which paper? This one you should be knowing. This is something which you go through the syllabus again and again. I'll help you out how to do it. So you note it down today and you exactly kind of memorize it. This is one thing. This I will help you. The second part, however, this is something which you must be doing. The second thing is you have to open the detailed syllabus, the mains detailed syllabus you have to open. And in the mains detailed syllabus, for every single word that is there, you have to write a sentence. This is the task you have for next week. By next weekend, what should you have done? For every single topic that is there in your main syllabus, you should have written a sentence. The meaning of that word. Say for example, there is a word like social justice. Yes? What does it mean? One word, one line. About every single word that is there in your syllabus. When you do this, you clearly know, okay, these are all the things that are there in my syllabus at least. Otherwise, you will never look at the syllabus. You will be coming here, attending the classes, going back. Happy with the notebook. That too if you maintain it. Okay, I'll also tell you how to prepare the notes as well in this very class. So, for you guys, it is very important that you have to stay efficient. Why? Because you are, you have less amount of time to study, right? That is why you are coming for the weekend batch as well. Yes? So, we have to make the entire process efficient. Done. We'll start with the first one. Prelims, mains. You have both? Yes? Now we are not going to go with the prelims syllabus, we go with the main syllabus and put whatever is there in the prelims under this tree itself. Okay. Easy way is, when I write GS1, you have history part. In history, I have ancient history, medieval history, art and culture, and then modern history, post-independent India, and world history. You have this much. Plus Indian society. plus what else do we have? Geography. When we say geography, what are all the things we have in geography? World geography, India, physical geography, and then economic geography and human geography. This much we have. This is your GS1. Done. And in GS1, what happens? Easy way to remember, I am telling you. We have to add something and delete something for prelims. Understood? So for prelims and mains, when we look at it, some addition, deletion we have to do. So by this measure, you need not remember the prelim syllabus at all. We'll remember everything in GS 1, 2, 3, 4 itself. All I have to do is, look at this. This part is not there for prelims. It is only there for mains. Understood? And this part, the top part, it's not there for mains, but only there for prelims. See, done. Rest of the stuff, whatever is there for both prelims and mains. Understood? Even this part, what I can do is, I can write it as mains only. Mains only, prelims it's not there. So now I have to remember what? Only GS1. In that, ancient and medieval history is there only for prelims. It's not there for mains. Post-independent history and world history is there only for mains, not for prelims. Indian society only for mains, not for prelims. That's it. Done. So I need not remember what? The prelim syllabus. Done. Now comes GS2. GS2 is fairly easier to remember actually. What do we have? We have polity, we have governance, we have social justice, and then international relations. We have international relations. This much we have. So what about prelims and mains here? This part, these three parts I would say, we cannot clearly say it is not there for prelims also. Current affairs related to this come in prelims. Okay. For mains, most of the questions come from here. But for prelims, current affairs related come here. So essentially, I would say before your prelims itself, you should have studied these things. Why? Because you are going to get the questions from this, but not from the textbooks, but from the current affairs. In order to remember the current affairs, you should be knowing what is there in the textbooks. Clear? So I would not say it is only for mains, not for prelims. That would be wrong. So it is there for everything. For both prelims and mains, it is there. So the entire GS2 paper, you can think that it is there for my syllabus for both pre and mains. And finally comes here GS3. What do we have in GS3? Economy, then science and technology, environment, internal security challenges, and disaster management. This much you have. So many things in a single paper. What is there for pre, what is there for mains? Everything is there for pre and mains except for this part. Only this part is there for only mains, no prelims. Only mains, no prelims. Done? This is all. Whatever else is there in our syllabus, I am going to write in another page. So one more thing you have to add is CSAT. CSAT is only for pre only. Done. And whatever else I write now is only for mains going forward. So we have prelims and mains here. Yes, prelims is here itself. Some portion of mains also is here. Done. Now coming to your next paper, GS4 paper, which is your ethics, integrity and aptitude. What is this for? Pre or mains? Mains only. This is mains only. Prelims it's not there, but this time around they had added 3 questions related to ethics in your prelims exam. But UPSC claims that it is not ethics per se, it is decision making. But again, that also fails the test. Why? Because decision making is in which paper? CSAT paper. It is not there in GS paper. But the questions were in GS paper. So, UPSC uses its own logic. So, we'll come to that. This year paper was one of the toughest papers. So, they have made a significant, a lot of changes. How should you be for such papers? How should you prepare yourself for such papers? That also we'll have a discussion. What else is left? GS4 is done. So, 1 is done, 2 is done, 3 is done, 4 is done. What next? What do we have? Essay paper. Essay is clearly mains only. How many essays do we have to write? 2 essays. What are the 2 essays on? 1 and 2. What are the essays on? One essay is going to be on, simple way is 1, 2, 3 topics. GS 1, 2, 3 is there, no? On those topics itself, a combination of those topics, you are going to get 4 essays. You have to choose one. Right? So, first essay is part A. In part A, you are going to get 4 essays. In 4 essays, you have to write 1. Part B, you are going to have 4 essays again. Out of 4, you have to write 1. Part A essays are usually going to be socio-economic and political issues. That is your GS 1, 2, 3 topics. This essay, part B essay, usually is going to be this, GS4 related. Basically, philosophical, ethical. But sometimes UPSC, it is not a hard and fast rule that UPSC has to follow this structure. Sometimes UPSC does what? Both essays, it is going to give philosophical, ethical. It's like a bouncer here. Right? All 8 essays are philosophical, ethical itself. Now you might be wondering, sir, how many pages we have to write? How many pages you have to write? 10 to 12 pages each. Now, you might be thinking, sir, 10 pages, what to write? What is the longest essay you have written so far? How many pages of essay you have written so far? 5 pages, longest. You? 5. You? 6 pages. 1 page. What about you? 3 pages. You? 2 pages. Online people, anybody who can beat the number 6? Anyone? You? 2 pages. 3. 4 pages. Online people, you? 2 pages. Now, nobody has had the practice of writing such lengthy, essays. Yes? Now, the first thought that comes to your mind is, sir, if they give the topic also, how can I write 10 to 12 pages? Trust me, a person who clears the prelims examination, the problem is not going to be writing 12 pages. The problem is always going to be how to write it within 12 pages. You have so much content to write, you are not able to fit it in 12 pages. Sir, how is that even possible? Because you have that much content with you. You have studied so much for various subjects, you have so much content, now you have to shrink that content. Now the problem is going to be only 2. You have to write it in 12 pages. No, I will write 14 pages. Fine, write 14 pages. But then time is a constraint. It's not that you will not be given extra sheets. They'll give extra sheets. Then time becomes a constraint. You have so much content, how to fit it in 10 to 12 pages? That becomes a problem. So you need not worry about the content part. You're supposed to worry about how to make it smaller, right? Essay is done. What is the next topic? What else do we have? Optional. How many optionals do we have? How many optionals? Two optionals? One optional? One optional, two papers. Okay. Optional, only one optional, but paper 1 and paper 2 on the same optional. So has anyone made a decision about their optional already? Anyone? Sociology. Electrical. Commerce and accountancy. Anyone else who has made a decision? No one. Okay. Online people, you will not respond. You will not talk. Anybody who has made a decision? Sociology. Okay. Diya, Kiran, Jassi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, which optional? Not decided?
Sir, I haven't decided yet.
Okay. So if you haven't made a decision, when is it you have to make a decision? By when you have to make a decision? It depends. It depends on in which year you are giving the examination. If you are giving the examination next year, right, 2027 attempt if you are giving, you have to make the decision by probably July, August. And here are all the optionals that we run. Which are the optionals that we run? Anthropology, sociology, psychology, and political science, PSIR, political science and international relations. These are going to start in the month of August. Not in the weekends, it's going to be in the weekdays, morning 8 to 10. So people who are giving the examination next year and want to choose one of these optionals, will help you out as to how to choose an optional as well. Then you have to choose the optional this year and attend these classes. If you are writing in 2028, then next year also you can complete your optional. By then complete your GS. Understood? So 29 people also I will suggest you take up the optional next year itself. Complete it. Done? So coming back to this optional. Which optional to take, how to take, how are they performing? We'll have a separate session maybe for that, right? Close to the heels of the optional starting period, we are going to have one more session for that. Will you remember the syllabus now? Yes? Now tell me. Ancient history, which paper? GS1. Is it there for mains? Is it there for mains? No, it's not there. Check. It's not there. Okay. Art and culture, which paper? GS1. Is it there for mains? Yes. Okay. Disaster management, which paper? Yourself. Huh? GS3. Is it there for mains? Yes. For prelims? No. Science and technology, which paper? GS3. Is it there for prelims? Yes. Okay. Done. So by the next time, I'll come to your class again for the book list class. Okay. I'll take the book list session. When I take the book list session, you have to tell me all these subjects. Accordingly, I'll give you the book list. Okay. Now, speaking of books, we'll not have a discussion on the book list, but I'll tell you how you should be using, the classes, how you should be using the NCERTs, everything. Okay. Now we take the classes here. And whatever is covered in the classes is going to be somewhere around 60 to 70%. I would say 70% of what is required for the examination is covered in the classes. In the notes, you take down the notes, 70% of what is required for the examination, right? Or rather 70% of what is there in the textbook, those topics are covered. Along with that, if I study a newspaper or a magazine, a current affairs magazine, and PIB, see one of these, not both completely, plus one reference book. If I do this much, right? So what is this 70%? Classes. And along with that, if you add all these things, my overall preparation comes to almost 85% of the syllabus. Almost 85% of the syllabus is covered for me. Done? Clear? How much is left? 80 to 85%. How much is left? Still 15 to 20% is outside. What most of you would do, or most of the candidates would do, you attend the classes. After attend, I need to add one more thing here, PYQ analysis, which is, of course, classes run on those lines itself. On the basis of PYQ analysis itself, we run the classes as well. Now, what most of the candidates, 98, 99% of the candidates, what they do? People who go to the coaching also, what mistake they do? You come to the classes here. I take 3 hours of class for you on a particular subject. My 3 hours of class which I take on a particular chapter, if you go and study on your own, how much time would you require to study? On your own, without assistance from anyone. How much time would you require if you want to study on your own? 6 hours, right? 3 hours class, what I did is, I took up a chapter which runs into 30 pages, right? And made you understand, gave examples, and it sat in your head because it was taught in an informal language. So we taught you in an informal language, selectively, stressing on the most important topics. Correct? Now, if you do one more revision of this, you'll remember everything that is related to the chapter, what is important to us. One proper revision, if you do it. Now, what 98, 99% of the candidates do is, they go home, the moment they go home, they will not open the class notes. What will they open? Textbook you'll open. You open the textbook and you see the chapter. In class, how much they have covered? 70% of the chapter. 30% of the chapter is not covered. You see some topics. Hey, this is not covered, this is not covered. What will you do now? You are going to abandon the class notes. I don't want this. What will I study?
Textbook.
I will study textbook. Why will I study textbook? Because it is complete. Now there is no guide for you here. What guide is not there? It does not stress what is important, what is not so important. In class on a topic, I have spent somewhere around 20 minutes. Right? In the textbook, on every single topic, you have to spend 20 minutes. Whereas, some of the topics require only 5 minutes. Why? Because they are not so important. But you are spending 20 minutes on each topic. Now, your brain does not realize what is important, what is not important. Done? This is a single common mistake, a starting point of the mistakes a person does. This is where it is. Clear? Do not commit this mistake. The day you complete all the class notes 100%, 100% of what you have learned in the class. Sir, everything you have taught in the class, I know everything. Ask me anywhere, I'll be able to explain it. You reach that position, open any textbook, you'll be able to study easily. Clear? It should not be the other way around. Done? Yes? Now, sir, we don't have that much time. You don't have that much time because you are doing this work. You're going to the textbooks immediately. That is why you don't have that much time. So what you're supposed to do is, once you attend the class, you have to make class notes. Now, how to make these class notes? Always, I would prefer this. See, there are two ways I suggest to prepare the notes. One is you just write the notes as is. I never use ruled book, no ruled book, unruled sheets. You have to write it on unruled sheets. You have to make it a practice. Otherwise, your lines in the examination will start from Kanyakumari, go to Jammu and Kashmir. ठीक है? Right? They have to be horizontal, they'll become almost vertical. Done? So there are two ways in which you can actually make the notes. One is a tedious way, and I think it is not suitable for you people. I'll tell you the tedious way, then come to the efficient way. The tedious way of preparing the class notes or notes is that first I will make all the notes just like this, whatever has been taught in the class. This is my class notes. I'll go home, study this. Later on, I am going to study the NCERT as well, correct? And then I am going to study one standard book as well, one reference book, one standard reference book I am going to study. After studying all the three, okay, now I am going to prepare a short notes. Getting my point? I have brought all the three together and prepared the short notes. A single source from where I can study. Now this is a lengthy process. Yes or no? This is a lengthy process. Now current affairs comes also. That also I will add it in the short notes. Now this becomes a very cumbersome process. Done. On the other hand, there is one more way, which is a relatively efficient way. Whenever I am writing the class notes, I am going to write it only in half the page. Rest half of the page, I am going to leave it empty. I'll have a column in the center. I am going to write only here, whatever is taught in the class notes. Whatever is taught in the class, I'll write it only here. Sir, page waste, sir. As if we are going to build buildings with that. Yes? It is going to be useful in a different way. Now later on, when you open the NCERTs, you come to realize that there are 1 or 2 points which you can add related to the same topic. You can add it here. Something extra is there in your textbook. Add it here. Something extra is there related, current affairs has come in use. You can add it here itself. Understood? Now you need not do this, what? Duplication of work. Yes? And remember, every time you are writing something here, you are never going to write the sentences. It is always going to be what? Keywords only. Keywords only. Never write sentences. If you start writing sentences, it will become a habit for you to write how? The entire book you will write again. Entire NCERT textbook, you will write it here itself. You study the NCERT, you study the textbook, right? Current affairs also, you just write a keyword here. Now, you're going to realize the importance of this towards the end. Once the subject gets completed. You have studied the NCERTs as well. You have studied the textbook as well. Now you are going to realize the impact of this. You compare yourself with another person who is studying all the books. That person has to run from book to book to study a single topic. Is not able to complete all the 4 books. It is almost impossible. But on the other hand, you have a master copy. From one place you will be able to study. Now this requires a lot of discipline. Right? It's an art. I would say it's an art. Of course, initially you are going to face problems. Stick with it. 1.5 months later, you will be good at it. Every single subject you have a separate book. Half page is my class notes. Half the page I am going to leave empty. Any additions I am going to do related to this topic, I am going to do it here. Understood? Clear? Anything you want to ask? You have any other ideas? Anything? Say something. Nothing? Okay. Fine. You want to ask anything in particular? If you want to ask, you can ask.
In the class we discussed more on NCERT books, so we need to go home and study the same topics.
So what we are going to do is we are going to learn any topic in an integrated manner, right? So if we take up the topic of, let's say, earthquake, right? We are going to have a discussion about earthquake from all the perspectives. Like, we are going to study, we are going to learn from NCERT books, we are going to learn from the standard book which is there, the faculty's content, all put together you will be taught. You are going to go home and then learn it from the notebook, whatever notes you have made, and then open the NCERT. Yes. So you are going to get the same chapter, open the same chapter, learn it from the same chapter. Basically, the difference is going to be this. In class notes, you have examples, there is a structured flow of content. In informal way, you have written some things. Whatever you learn from the textbook is going to be a bit formal. That's all. You'll be able to understand it much more easily because you have learned it here. Understood? There, if you find some extra point, then you can add it here. Clear? Fine. Now, I want to tell you one more thing related to how the examination is designed and how you must be prepared for the examination. These are like checkpoints. Okay, these are like checkpoints. In whichever year you are giving the examination, these check boxes, if you tick, that year is going to be your successful year. Yes? So when do we get the notification? Notification by UPSC comes every year in January. Applications open and then you have to fill the applications usually by February. By Feb, forms need to be filled. You have applied for the examination. Earlier, applying for the examination usually took one photo, one signature. They used to prescribe, these many pixels. In these many pixels, this is the size. Within that size, if it is there, you just upload. You put your details, basic details, your permanent address, this, that, done. I think in 15 minutes, I think you could have filled the application form earlier. Now, since last year, it takes, I think, a minimum of 1.5 to 2 hours. Minimum. For a person who has some details missing, for that person, it might take days together. So now I would say filling the application is one more stage of the examination. That itself is one more stage. The first and the foremost thing you need to understand is what are all the things that I need for this examination. You have to do some research. These are all the things I need for the examination. People who have OBC, SC/ST category, EWS category. All of you must ensure that you get your certificates in December. 1 month prior itself, in December itself, you get the certificates ready. And remember, do not tell later on, nobody informed us, sir. I'm informing you now itself. These certificates are supposed to be in the prescribed form. The prescribed format as given by UPSC. Most of the people have the certificates in the what form? State government's form itself. No, it has to be in the UPSC website prescribed certain format. With the notification it comes, but previous year itself, it has a separate section for forms. There you can download the form. In the very form, in that same form you have to format, you have to get your certificate done. EWS, SC, ST, OBC, person with benchmark disability, PWBD, right? So in the prescribed format, you have to get the certificate done when? December. Now you will face less hassles. Then you will have less hassles to fill the application. You have to have your marks cards ready. Then you are going to, my marks card is missing. Right, 10th marks card is missing, 12th marks card is missing. So back then I missed it, now I have forgotten. Now I have to apply again. No, keep 10th, 12th, everything, all your marks cards, your certificates ready. Then filling the form takes 1.5 hours. That much time it is going to take. Why? Because it is going to ask you all the details related to your property, right? Gold you have, everything you have to put there, right? You need not give gold, you have to tell how much you have. So all those details, property details and everything, you have to put it there. Okay, notification, application is done. What is the next stage? Exam. You are going to get the admission tickets. When are you going to get the admission tickets? At least 15 days prior. Some 15 days prior you are going to get the admission tickets. But remember, you have to choose centers while filling the form. Make sure you fill the form in the initial 10 days, right? In the initial 10 days, 8 days if you fill the form, whatever center you choose will be allocated to you. If you choose Bangalore, Bangalore will be allocated to you. And within Bangalore, right? Otherwise, what happens later on if you fill, in the outskirts of Bangalore you are going to get. Sometimes outside Bangalore also. When I say outside Bangalore, the next closest city. So do not commit this mistake. Keep the certificates ready, and the day the forms open, the very day you fill it. If you have all the certificates ready, then there is no need to worry. Okay. So for this, you can take the assistance of the people here, right, at the institute. They'll help you out. That's not an issue. Okay. Fine. In this form itself, you have to choose what? Choose the services. Earlier it used to be after you clear the prelims, you have to choose the services. Now you are going to have a doubt, sir, what are all the services that are there? How many services are there? This examination is called what? UPSC CSE. What is CSE? Civil Services Examination. Now in CSE, this examination is being written for how many posts? How many types of posts? 22, 23, 24. How many? 2 is right. How many are there? How many are there? Check. Online people, how many? How many posts? You have it there or not? No. You don't have it? 19. That's all. 19 plus 5. 24. What is this 19 plus 5? 19 are Group A. 5 are Group B. 5 are Group B. So in the Group A, you also have 2 All India services. And you have 17 central services. Which are the 2 All India services that are there here? IAS and IPS. How many All India services do we have? How many All India services do we have? IFS. IFS means? What about Indian Foreign Service?
Managing international relations.
So that is All India Service? No. In the 17 central services, we have foreign service as well. But the other service which we are talking about is Indian Forest Service, IFOS we call it. This Indian Forest Service, for this, the examination, the mains examination is conducted separately. Mains is conducted separately. What about the prelims? It's the same prelims. So how we can look at it is, when you apply for civil services examination in the month of January, February, you will be given an option. Do you want to apply for only civil services examination, or do you want to apply for civil services examination plus forest service? You just have to choose. If you choose this, then same prelims examination. In the prelims examination, there will be, after the prelims examination, you are going to get 2 results. One is going to be about CSE, the other one is going to be about IFOS. The cutoff for CSE is usually lower. For this, it is on the higher side. CSAT same 67, but in GS paper, here the cutoff will be lower for CSE. Now, a person might clear CSE, may not clear Forest Service cutoff. But on the other hand, a person who clears IFOS invariably clears what? CSE. Understood? So when applying, how are we supposed to apply? Usually you are supposed to apply for both CSE and IFOS, right? If you are not interested in Forest Service at all, then don't click. Then choose only CSE. You are appearing only for CSE. Done. Now when it comes to mains, so do cutoff hai, right? You cleared both the cutoffs, let's say. Then in mains, you have to write 2 different mains. CSE mains, it has 9 papers. And then you have IFOS mains, in which you have 2 optional papers. That is different. GS papers are lesser there. Okay. So we are preparing for which exam? This examination. Clear? Any doubts? Nothing? Okay. This IFOS I am talking about is a All India service. So basically we have 3 All India services. IAS, IPS and Indian Forest Service. Forest Service, earlier it used to be the same examination, now prelims is same but mains is different. Syllabus is different. Prelim syllabus is same because it is the same paper. Just for mains you have a different syllabus. Right? GS syllabus is same again, but optional you have to study 1 extra. In mains you don't have ethics paper for them. For Forest Service, there is no ethics paper. Rest of the stuff is there. So that's how you can visualize it. Okay. Now, in these 17 central services, you have your IRS, income tax, right? You have IRS customs. Okay. then audit and account service, right? Railway traffic service, IRTS, railway management service. You have many things here. So you have the list there. Now to learn about all these, Group A, Group B, you have DANIX, DANIPS and all that. To learn about all these services, what you have to do is you have to go to our website, legacyIAS.com. You go there, in about section, you have service guide. There's something called a service guide in the website. When you open the service guide, every service, you have details of every single service, what are all the perks, how the career progresses, what powers you get, what is the salary structure, everything. For all the 24 services separately. Done? So where is it? In the about. So you have service guide, right? Civil services guide. There when you visit, you'll get all the services, what they mean. This you can go through. Done. Now you filled this form. Sir, which one are we supposed to give priority? Which one second priority? That completely depends on you. And this is the time you have to select which optional you are going to choose as well. Right? This is the time when you are going to choose where you are going to write your mains examination as well. So prelims examination center you select, mains examination center also you have to select. Mains optional also you have to select. Okay? All of it is done. Now you get the admission ticket some 15 days prior to the examination. You go to the prelims examination, right? When is the prelims examination? Every year in the month of May. You have the prelims. You get the results in 15-20 days now. Earlier it used to be over 1 month. Within 15 days, right? You're going to get the result. And then after May, you have to fill a DAF again, right? You have to fill a DAF, detailed application form again you have to fill. Now you are admitted to mains examination. Mains examination usually happens in August. August is your main examination. How many days of main examination? You have 5 days of main examination. So first day usually you are going to have the what papers? GS 1, 2. After that? 3 and 4. Essay, language, optional. So they might change. First your language papers, then essay paper, then GS 1, 2, 3, 4 and then optional. Usually earlier they used to not give any break for optional. Now it has become more of a practice that they give space for optional. They give 2-3 days space so that you can recuperate and then go to the examination. Earlier it was 5 continuous days you have to write. Now 5 continuous days, how many hours you are supposed to write? 3 hours per paper. 3 into how many papers? 3 into 9 papers. 3 into 9. 27 hours you are supposed to write. "27 hours. It is tiring until and unless you are prepared for it. So, it is always painful when you run the first day. 10 days if you run continuously, every day you get accustomed to the pain. It's not that it's not paining, you don't feel the pain. Pretty much the same thing. You practice over a period of time, then you would not feel the pain. Yes? To write 27 hours is not easy. Most of the people think that, what? Right, I will write. No problem. First let me clear prelims. Means I'll look at it later. True, you'll look at it later, but you'll not get the result. So that is why what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to start writing practice from day 1. As in, your day 1 starts with what? notes. Making notes. Make it a practice you write all the time. When you go home and study for this examination, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours if you are studying, make it a practice that you have a pen and paper in your hand. Every time you study something, jot it down somewhere. Randomly, you keep jotting down. Always, it's about how engaged your senses are. Many people say, I have read it, but you might have felt it. You are reading the book, pages are done. Now when you try to recall, what did I study? You don't recall. But you have completed the pages. You know why that happens? It's because your sense modalities are not engaged enough. We human beings have some capacity, cognitive capacity, our ability to process the information, right? There is a limited capacity. So this is a resource we have. At one time, how much information can I, process? There's a capacity. Now what we do is, when I read, this much of my cognitive capacity is being used. This much is free. When this much capacity is free, what will your brain do? What will your brain do? You'll start thinking about others. Hey, I am free, give me some work. You'll start thinking about your childhood, maybe girlfriend, boyfriend, right? Family members, this, that, right? Movie, trip, comparisons, Instagram, Facebook, all these things come to your head. Now when you engage this part also to studying itself, then your brain will not be able to think. Now you have full concentration. How do we do it? Only this part was engaged because only one sense modality was being used. What was that? Vision. Now when I put to use the other sense modalities as well, touch is one more, and also audio, right? When you are reading something, even if you are humming of sort, or slightly aloud, if you are reading or studying, at the same time you are jotting down. Three things are at use: audio, visual, and tactile. All three. Now your cognitive capacity is full. Then you will be able to remember everything. Yes? It's about putting your resource to use. It's not that you don't have the resources. You have the resource. It's just that we don't utilize that resource fully for one task. We split it across tasks. That is when you will not be able to learn properly. Done? So now, the mains examination happens in the month of August. After the mains examination for 5 days, you get some break, a breather for 3 months. During those 3 months, you prepare for the interview, you get the results as well, right? Usually you get the results in the month of, which month do you get the results? After August? Usually, when do you get the mains results? It takes time, right? So usually in the month of December, right? So December you get the results, and then you have the interview scheduled in December, January, February. And now they gave the result in March itself, right? They are pretty quick to give the results now. Probably UPSC also uses the AI tools to crunch the data and give you the results. Earlier it used to be done manually. It used to take a lot of time, okay? Now this is one cycle. This is one entire cycle. Again, May, examination. So you can be certain about one thing in this examination. What is that certainty? That certainty is about your examination dates. They are not going to change the dates. Under very dire circumstances, they are going to change the dates. Like COVID-19, they changed the date. Apart from that, not even a single time they have changed the date. No matter what happens, they will run the examination. So that's the good thing. Yes, there is certainty. While the paper might be unpredictable, dates are predictable. Dates are certain. Okay. Done? This much is done? Next, how is the competition? How good is the competition for this examination? How many people write this examination every year? 10, 13 lakh people write the exam or apply for exam? So 10 lakh plus apply for exam. Good. I want you to tell me the percentages, okay? How many posts do we have? Roughly 1000 posts. 1000 posts split across various services. So all those 24 services put together, you have 1000 posts. So how many IAS, how many IPS posts, all of it comes in your notification. So roughly, you get somewhere around 90, 110 IAS posts, right? It varies every year. Sir, why do they vary? On what basis? On what basis do they give this notification? These many posts are required. Vacancies. Requirement of the states and the central government departments. How many officers are required? How many officers retired? On the basis of this, a list is prepared. It is given to DOPT, Department of Personnel and Training, and DOPT transfers that list to UPSC and tells UPSC, you conduct the examination, give me a list of candidates who are good enough. And UPSC gives the list. Remember, it's not a selected list. What is a list? It is a recommended list of candidates. The rank list that you get towards the end, it is just a recommended list of candidates. They are not selected candidates. When are they selected then? After your DOPT does the training, selection is complete. Selection and placement is complete. Right? So the process is like this: recommendation by UPSC. After that, training is done, selection is done, placement is done. Okay. Now by that measure, do you know aptitude? What is aptitude? Have you written aptitude tests? How? What are aptitude tests? What do they check? So that is, what are the contents of a test? I mean to ask, what is an aptitude test?
Under given time period, how fast can they solve the problem?
That can be any exam. Then why call it an aptitude test? So if there is no math questions, then it is not an aptitude test. If there are no reasoning questions, then no aptitude test. It's not an aptitude test. We have different aptitudes, as in there is musical aptitude test, right? There is a spatial aptitude test. So you have aptitude tests for many things. Then what is an aptitude test? See, simple way of looking at it is apt. What is the meaning of apt? Suitability, right? An aptitude test checks your suitability for a certain position. If you are trained, will you be suitable for that position? Basically, I am checking whether you have the potential and can I use that potential, train you so that you become skillful for this position. Getting it? It feels like aptitude is your hidden talent. Do you have these hidden talents so that I can train and you become fit? You become skillful. Now, these recommended candidates are the people who have high aptitude to become a civil servant. They have high aptitude to become a civil servant. Sir, do others don't have the aptitude? Others also have aptitude, but these are the candidates, recommended candidates are the ones who have the highest aptitude. When you have the highest aptitude, what is the advantage? I need to train less. If you have low aptitude, I have to give more training. So the idea is to select those candidates who have higher aptitude so that training effort put by the government is lesser. Understood? Now, by this measure, your entire 3 levels of examination is an aptitude test. All 3 levels. We simply say CSAT, Civil Service Aptitude Test. That is not the aptitude test. Actually, all the 3 levels of examination is an aptitude test. Pre, mains, personality test. All 3 are aptitude tests itself. Because only after recommendation you are going for training. Only after that you are being selected. After that you are being placed. Which means the entire examination is an aptitude test. This is how you are supposed to see the examination. Done? Okay, 10 lakh people apply for this examination. 1,000 posts are there. What percentage is it? 0.1? Yes? 0.01 or 0.1? 0.001. Tell me exactly. 0.01 or 001? See, a simple question. 1,000 people of 10 lakh people. 00. What is it? 001. 001. Okay. You stand 0.001% chance here. But the thing is, this number means nothing. Why? These many people don't write the examination. These are only applicants. How many people write the examination? 5 lakh people. On an average, 5 lakh people write the examination. So, appeared in the examination. Appearance. In pre. So, 1,000 out of 5 lakh people now? What percentage is it? 0.05%. Correct? Yes? 0.05 or 005? 05? Pakka? Okay. Okay. Now the real question comes in. How many people honestly prepare for this examination? This is the next question. When I say honestly prepare for this examination, what do I mean? What do I mean? Sincerely, consistently, they have prepared for the examination. Out of every 100 people in your class, wherever you studied, in whichever college you studied, how many people honestly studied for the examination in graduation? Just a second. Okay, where were we? 0.05%. In your class, let's say your example, how many people are there in your class? There were 30 people. Okay, out of 30 people, how many people honestly studied for the exam? 5 to 6 people. Okay, now your class, let's take your class example. How many people were there? 40. How many people studied for the examination? 5 to 10 people. Okay, your class? 75 people. Okay, how many people studied? Honestly, they studied for examination. 15. Okay, what is the average percentage we can get? Somewhere around 7 to 8%. Correct? Don't you think it is the same lot which comes to write the exam also? You can't have a different set of people coming and writing this examination. It is going to be the same. 5 lakh people, let's say, they have made some sacrifices. Instead of 7 to 8%, let's take, for your sake, 10%. 10% is how much? 10% of 5 lakh. 50,000 people are preparing for the examination, kind of honestly. Yes? Honest preparation. Now, 1,000 people of 50,000. What percentage is it? 5%? Is it 5%? Think about it. 1,000 out of 50,000. 50%. 5%. Okay. 0.5%. How is it so difficult? 10% is 5,000. Correct? 10% is 5,000. Then 2%. You stand a 2% chance now. Done. What next? 50,000 people we have reduced the competition to. Out of these people, how many people I told you will commit mistakes? Almost 98, 99 people, 99% people keep on committing mistakes. Yes? Yes or no? Now, amongst those mistakes, there is one more mistake I would want to highlight. What is that mistake? Excessive emphasis on pre-only candidates. Excessive emphasis. So, there will be candidates who are excessively emphasizing on pre-only. There will be candidates who are studying from the start for both pre and mains. Now, if I want to remove candidates who have done mistakes all along their way, like studying multiple books, not studying the fundamentals properly, excessively preparing only for prelims, I would remove somewhere around 30,000 people from this. Right? Your competition is going to be with how many people? 20,000 people properly. And if you check properly as to how many people actually prepared for both pre and mains from the starting and did enough answer writing practice, I don't think you will be able to find 6,000 to 7,000 people. This is the last number I would say. Not more than 6,000 to 7,000 people will be there who are writing answers relentlessly, continuously getting their papers evaluated. You will not find more than 6,000 to 7,000 people. These are the people who are doing what is required for the examination exactly. Now tell me, 1,000 people of 6,000, 7,000 people. Now is that too much competition? Honestly, it is not. I always tell the students to look at this number. Never look at those numbers. How many people go for the mains examination? Out of 5 lakh people who appeared in the examination, the ratio, 1,000 people are required? 13,000 people, right? Around 13,000 people go to the mains examination. They clear the pre and go to the mains. Out of 13,000 people, 3,000 people are selected. 2.5, 3,000 people are selected. These people go to the interview. And finally, out of these 3,000 people, 1,000 people get selected. Now, what I am saying is that out of these 13,000 people also, you can still find 6,000 people who are not good enough for mains. They are not good enough for mains. Their focus has always been on prelims only. Finally, you can get somewhere around 6,000, 7,000 people only who are very, very strong competition. People say this examination is about luck, right? That luck is amongst these people. That luck is not in those 10 lakh people. Trust me. It is not in those 50,000 people also. The luck factor comes in only in this probably 6,000, 7,000 people. Your aim should be to become part of this 6,000, 7,000 first. Your aim should not be to think about what? Let luck play in my favor. I'll be one amongst those 10 lakh people or 5 lakh people. Let me get selected. No. Your objective should be to be in this. What is it you should be doing? When is it you become the part of this club? 6,000, 7,000 people club. When do you become like that? For this, we have a checkbox, right? What is that checkbox? It's like a checklist. Next, I will talk about the mistakes, common mistakes most of the people do, so that you are well aware as to what you should not be doing. Okay, and then you can ask questions, right? Whatever questions you have, you can ask me, right? We'll resolve those questions, find answers to those questions, right? Checkbox number 1. Math, anyone scored 100 out of 100 in their school, college? 100 out of 100. School, 10th, 12th? 92. Anyone else who scored over 90s? 10th, 12th, 100. Same. 90. Okay. The first exercise I want each one of you to do, everyone, right? I want yourself to get assessed for this paper. 0 practice. You should do 0 practice. Directly take paper of 2026, 2025, both these papers. First thing you have to do, right? Solve within 2 hours each, for each paper 2 hours. Out of 200, how much do you get? You know how to calculate this? Do you know how to calculate the score? Let's say, how many questions you have in CSAT paper? 80 questions. Out of 80, let's suppose you attempted 50 only. Correct? Out of 50, how many right, how many wrong? 12 wrongs, and right would be 38. Correct? Now what am I supposed to do? All I am supposed to do is divide the wrong by 3, which is 1/3. 12 by 3 is 4. Subtract 4 by right. How much would I get? 34. How many marks per question? 2.5 into 2.5. How much would I get? 34 into 2, 68. Half of 34, 17. 68 plus 17 would be 85. This is your score. This is how you calculate. Done. 1/3 is the negative. Yes? I want you to do it for both 26 and 25 papers. I'll tell you what difference does it make. Presently, the number of people not clearing the pre, just because of this paper, how many people fail in this paper, is an astounding number. It's around 60 to 70%. 60 to 70% people fail to get 67 out of 200. According to UPSC report, it is 55, 60, but you can guess it is going to be 65, 70%. 60%, let's say. So 60, 65% people, if they are failing in this paper, the moment you tell me that, sir, consistently, 26 I solved, 25 I solved, 24 I solved, 23 I solved, consistently I am getting 80 plus. ensure you are solving it in 2 hours. Okay? The moment you say this, you are in the 35% club already. Right? You are in the 35% club, in the sense 65% people are lost already. You are in the 35% club already. Done? Now, that is the first checkbox I need. Each one of you should be able to tell me on Jan 1st of that year, Jan 1st of that year, in whichever year you are giving the examination. Jan 1st of that year, if you tell me that, sir, CSAT, no matter which paper UPSC gives, I'll be able to score 80 out of 200. This is the first checkbox. If you are already there, wonderful. If you are not there yet, your target is when? Jan 1st of the year you are giving the examination. By then, you should be able to tell any paper, sir, I'll be able to get 80 plus. First checkbox. One advantage is you are already in that 35% club. The moment you tick this box, there is one more significant advantage most of the people downplay. They don't even understand this. You think about it. When you remove one entire paper in your prelims examination from your head, that I need not worry. Think about the mental space you have to study GS. Time you have, mental space you have to study for GS for the next 4.5 months. Otherwise, though you are concentrating on GS, in the subconscious mind it will be playing, what about CSAT? Will I clear CSAT? Will I clear CSAT? The burden of it is sufficient for you to not study properly for GS. Clear? Irrespective of the background you come from, you have to ensure by Jan 1st, I tick this box. The first checkbox. Done? What are we discussing about? To be in this club. What checkboxes we need to tick? The second thing. What is the second checkbox? This is the March 31st checkbox of that very year. What should I do now? What should I be ready for? Everything related to prelims related, everything. When I say everything, entire syllabus related to history, geography, polity, economy, environment, science and technology, IR, right? All of it, along with that current affairs of the last 8 months, 10 months or 11 months. So CA plus GS. I have done 3 revisions. 3 revisions are done. On March 31st, if you are able to tell that, right, your chance of being in the 6K, 7K club, rather than 6K, 7K club, your chance of clearing the pre is going to be around 90%. Box 1 ticked, box 2 ticked. The chance of clearing the prelims examination is as high as 90%. People will not be able to do it. Don't worry. Many people will not be able to do it. You check, even a person who has been studying for 1.5 years, okay? If you ask that person on March 31st, how many revisions have you done so far? The person will be still like, 5 subjects I have done and it is in my 2nd revision. Now you might ask, sir, why? How will we be able to do 3 revisions? Yes, I'll tell you how it is to be done. It is just about focus. It's about focus on areas. Then you will be able to complete. Efficiency, right? On the same day, there is one more checkbox you need to tick. On the same day, March 31st, Mains related. Whatever GS subjects are there for mains, exclusive. Exclusive mains GS subjects, what are they? World history, post-independent India, ethics, and then essay, and then you have what? Optional subject, internal security challenges, disaster management, these subjects. So for all of it, along with optional, my notes are ready, plus what else? One revision is also done. One revision is also done. Clear? You tick this box as well. The day you tick this box, which essentially means on May 25th, let's say, you will be telling that, sir, all I am left with is these things. The May 25th checkbox, you are going to say these things. Like, I have to do answer writing practice. Why? Because I have to refine my answers. I want to do refinement. I want to increase the speed of answer writing. Yes. And then what else? The only thing I need to study is current affairs update, so that value addition happens to my answers. This is all I am left with when on May 25th. That's when you reach that 6,000, 7,000 club. No strategy, nothing. This is all. Check boxes. Whichever year you tick these 4 check boxes, that year is yours. That year you can be almost certain that you are going to get through. Because it's all about time. Now you might say, sir, if I take 2 years, it does not matter. 3 years, it does not matter. Whichever year on these set dates, if you have reached that positions, it's like goalposts. You have reached those goalposts, you have a very high chance. It's all about time and your prep. Done? Clear? Anything you want to ask? No? Anything? Nothing? You want to ask something? Nothing? Okay. Now, sir, how is it we will be able to do 2 revisions, 3 revisions? How is it even possible? It's possible when you are contented. You have to have contentment in life. Contentment? How is it even related? What is contentment? Being happy with what you have. That's when it is possible. What do you have? I have class notes. I have NCERT. I have current affairs. I have one reference book. There is reference book number 2, reference book 3, reference book 4. I will never touch these. I will never touch these. YouTube videos I am getting, I will not watch. Telegram I am getting PDFs, I will not touch. Somebody is giving me material, I will not touch. There are questions coming, I am not able to answer, source is somewhere, I don't care. Do you have that ability? If you have that ability, you will be able to reach that position. Very, very simple. Now you might think that, sir, this is so easy. It's not easy. Humans get persuaded pretty easily, right? And our desire for completeness will push us in wrong directions. Desire for completeness as in, I want to make it 100%. No. Somebody tells you, reference book 2, reference book 3, 4. Iska summary hai. Now will you have an inclination or not? Hey, let me just check once. You go there, done. You don't have time for revising these things. Clear? Am I suggesting you against studying more? Absolutely. I am suggesting you against studying more of different things. Study more of the same thing is what I am suggesting. Done? Clear? Yes? If you want R1, R2, R3 to be completed, this is the only way. Otherwise, you will never be able to reach. Trust me, you will never be able to reach. It's not possible. Many people, get caught in a trap. What is a trap, Everybody tells history, geography, polity, economy, environment. These are the core subjects. They tell these are the core. This is the foundation subject. You should be very good with these. Now, they tell you have to be very good with these. They never told you have to become a professor in it. What are you trying to become? You are trying to become a professor in it. How? You studied geography. Class is done. NCERT is done. When do I say you are good at it? When you are able to explain what is there in this to another person properly, with logic. That's when I say you are good at it. What do you think? What is good? You think, apart from this, I have to learn more. The more things I'm learning, the better I am. That's not the case. Done? Simple rule, restriction rule is that if I am studying the class notes, the next source is going to be my NCERT. If available, once reference book, PYQ. For a subject, there might be no reference book. For certain subjects, there are no reference books. It's not required. What else? Answer writing practice, tests. That's it. Nothing else. So along with that, you have the current affairs on the sidelines. Nothing else. There is no strategy. Strategy is vary from person to person. You have to build your own strategy. For this very reason, we ask you to meet the mentor. Right? So you will be onboarded to a portal where you are going to, enter your progress. Every single day, you are going to make an entry of your progress. Chapter by chapter, task by task, you are going to make an entry. It's very, very important. Initially, you might feel hesitant. You might feel like this is not going to be useful. But if you do it for 2 months continuously, then you are going to realize what potential it has. That work, 2-minute work of yours, 2-minute drill of yours. On a daily basis, if you are marking 2 months, 3 months later, you are going to see progress which has reached somewhere around 16-17%. Then you'll feel like, okay, let me make it 20%, let me make it 25%. Automatically, you will make progress. Then when there is no feedback mechanism, it becomes very difficult for us to move forward. You have a feedback mechanism, just utilize it. Okay? Have they onboarded you already? Yes? No? You have been onboarded to that platform, right? Where you can make the entry of the class, right? Which class has been done, and then PYQ analysis did you do? Did you check that yet? No? You haven't checked it. Check it. This much is done. Okay. This is how you can reach your 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. Otherwise, it is impossible. I am telling you, it's impossible. You can take 5 years and still you will be in your second revision only. Because you have a good 16 subjects. In all the 16 subjects, if you want to master, there is no end to it. That is why contentment is the key. Yes? Sir, is that sufficient for the examination? You think about it. Prelims examination, how much you need to score? Out of 200? 90? Less than 50% or more than 50%? Less than 50%. Mains examination out of 2025, how much you have to score? 1000, you are in top 100. Again less than 50%. What am I asking you to do? Be ready for 80-85%. 15% let it go. Don't run behind that 15%. In order to cover that 15%, you have to go through another 4 or 5 books each subject. There is no end to it. It's like a tunnel which has no ending. There is no light in the end. Okay? Fine. Now coming to the final part, which is about the common mistakes you commit. Common mistakes and conditions for you to prepare for this examination. First and the foremost is not setting the limits. You have to set the limits for the number of books you're going to study. Book list, there has to be a limit. Very, very important thing, sources, book list, there has to be a limit. The second thing is lack of self-confidence. This gets manifested in different ways. The lack of self-confidence. It's a show of lack of self-confidence when you keep running from source to source, mentor to mentor, from one source to another source you are switching, from one mentor to another mentor you are going to, one topper to another topper for strategy, strategy to strategy. When you are doing this, it shows lack of self-confidence. What is a show of self-confidence? It's a show of self-confidence when you have made a book list and you trust the book list and you are going to tell to yourself, this is the book list I am going to crack this examination with. It requires courage. With courage comes self-confidence. It's difficult. I do understand it's difficult, but you have to tell it to yourself. It is possible only this way. It's practical also. I will be able to do 3 revisions only when I have limited books. Without limited books, I will not be able to do revisions. Without revisions, it is not possible to crack. So, net limitation, that's what you have to be contented with. 3. I will start answer writing practice later. When? After I complete my syllabus. Tests and answer writing practice. When will I start? I will start after syllabus completion. And revision 1. After this I will start. Anybody who thinks this way will never reach that point. Syllabus will not get completed. You will never write tests. You will never start writing answers also. Start writing answers. Answer writing practice must start within 3 to 4 months of your preparation. Within the first 3 or 4 months of your preparation itself, you have to start writing answers. Answer writing practice is going to be initially at least 60 to 70 answers. I would suggest you to go open book. Face-to-face evaluation. Open book answers. Keep the book open, keep the sources open, write the answers. Get them evaluated face to face. Go to the mentor, go to the faculty, get it evaluated face to face. At least how many answers? 60 to 70 answers. First 60 to 70. This is going to build the skill. By the time you have the skill, it will take another 2 months. Let's say on a daily basis, you have written 1 answer. In a week, you have written 5 answers, right? 60 answers would take 12 weeks, right? 12 5 is 60. 12 weeks. 12 weeks is 4 months. So 2 months initially plus 4 months, 6 months later, you have the skill ready. By that time, content is also ready. Now you can close the book and write the answers. Because initially you don't have the content, right? Because you don't have the content, you are not writing the answers. What I am saying, keep the content open, write the answers. Done. 4. PYQ analysis. I will watch videos. No. PYQ analysis you have to do. You must do the PYQ analysis. What we have done is we have in your website itself, we have segregated the PYQs starting from I think 2015 onwards, 2012, 13 onwards, from 13 onwards, all the PYQs of both prelims and mains. Year wise it is there. In the year wise, if you select a subject, it shows only that subject's PYQs. What you are supposed to do? After every 2 chapters, 3 chapters, you open it, open that particular subject, you will be able to see the questions. Just analyze what is the language that is used, what kind of questions have been asked. In class also we will be taking, here and there the PYQs, but then you have to do the analysis, because if you do the analysis, you will be able to understand what to study, what not to study from the textbook also. From the newspaper also, what point to pick, what point not to pick. You'll get to understand. Done? Yes? No. Done? What next? Is there anything else we need for this examination? That's it. Current affairs, the last one. Current affairs, what to do? How current affairs have performed? Current affairs, I'll study from day 1. No, absolutely not. I'll not spend time on current affairs. What will I do? How the landscape has changed with respect to current affairs as well. That also we have to look. Say, usually this was the scenario. In the pre-examination, the percentage was like this. Almost 80% used to come from static. Current affairs used to come 20%. And then it changed. This became 70. This became 30. 60, 40. Right? And maybe now you can say it is 60-40 itself even now, if you ask me. It is 60-40 itself. You might say that, sir, current affairs here, most of the questions are current affairs only. But the thing is, current affairs are mixed with static now. That is why you can't clearly say it is current affairs question itself. Without the static knowledge, you can't solve the current affairs question. Okay? So, even if I go with this number, the lion's share is still held by what? Static. It still holds the lion's share, 60%. Now for this 40%, my issue is to learn this 40%, where I have to study it from. This is the problem. Where do I study the current affairs from to cover this 40%? I'll list the sources. You tell me whether it is possible or not. Okay. The Hindu, Indian Express, Times of India, and then you have Yojana, and then you have what else? PIB, and then you have Wikipedia, and then you have WTO, IMF, International Labour Organization, United Nations, right? World Bank. Yes. So you have this much, along with that government websites, reports, government websites. How many pages of content do you think it will add up to? It's unlimited. There is one more magazine, Down to Earth. How many pages does it add up to? Unlimited. It is unlimited. It's easy to do reverse engineering and tell that the question has come from here, study from here. It's easy to tell that. But practically, is it possible? Practically, it is almost impossible. Now I have this much to study for what? 40%. Yes? And I have limited sources to study to get what? 60%. What should I be doing? Should I put all my eggs in this basket or this basket? This basket. But we are not prepared completely for this also. I told you we will be prepared only for 70% of it. Yes? Why? Because then we have to study, standard book 2, standard book 3 and all. 70% of 60%, what is it? 7 6 42% I am ready. Because they give from other books also. We have some standard books, NCERT is there, class notes is there. Still they gave it from some other books. 42% I am ready. Proper. Now what am I going to do? I am going to be very, very selective there. Where? In my current affairs. I'll select this or this. Or a replacement for these two, I am going to study a current affairs magazine along with PIB. That will cover our 15% of current affairs. Yes? So 15 to 18% of current affairs is covered there. So 15% here. How much does it come to? A solid 57%. A solid, I am talking about a solid 57%. A solid 57% means out of 100 questions, you will be able to get 57 right. 57 right is what? 114 marks. Are you over the cutoff or under the cutoff? This is how you are supposed to be objective. We are not supposed to run behind things which are unmanageable. More number of sources, unmanageable. More sources for current affairs, not manageable. Sir, are we never supposed to look at these? You look at these when my this part is done. What is that? This 70% of whatever is to be studied, standard book, PYQ analysis, all of this is done. That part is done. And then my current affairs is also being done, only these two sources. This also I am doing. This is done, sir. I am very, very comfortable. I have enough time now. That day, you do all this circus you want. You do this circus. Clear? Getting my point? I have told you this much, and I am sure you'll still commit mistakes. Just to ensure that you don't commit those mistakes, you just show up and meet the mentors regularly. Clear? Just so that you don't go away from the path you are supposed to be in. Just for that purpose. Now, questions time. I want you to ask away any questions you have. Anything. You have 20 minutes time. Any question you have.
So the answer writing. So how our answer should be? Like it shouldn't be the thing from the books or stuff.
How should our answers be? Simple solution. You see the question, write an answer, show it to the mentor. It comes only with practice, right? Even if I give you a structure, still you will not be able to learn. I am telling you, write feedback, write feedback. Every single time there will be changes. Yes? Every single time your introduction becomes better, body becomes better, conclusion becomes better. That's how it is going to be. It's not going to be one size fits all solution. Understood? In the class also they will be telling how to write an answer for a particular topic. But then even that is not so useful. What is useful at the end of the day? You writing an answer. You have to develop an understanding of the question and you have to come up with your own ways of answer writing. To help you out with this, I'll tell you what are all the resources that are available at your disposal now, right? In your learning library, you have a learning library in your portal, wherever you get the videos, right? So classes are done. After the classes are done, the recorded video is available. So in that same platform, in your app, in the learning library, there is one more set of documents that have been uploaded very recently. 4 documents are there. The 4 documents are related to toppers answers. To make your life much more easier, what we have done is that subject wise we have classified. Getting my point? As in, if I want to write answers for art and culture, first what will I do? I will look at art and culture answers written by the toppers. Only art and culture related answers, 3-4 toppers have written, all at one place. You just run through them. You get a fair bit of idea and then start writing an answer. So subject wise, this is there. Clear? So every time you want to write an economy related answer, I have to write. Yes? Content you will see and write only. But you want to have a fair bit of idea, right? How toppers write, when will they get maximum marks, right? Run through the economy answers, 5-6 answers you read through, you get a fair bit of idea, okay, this is how we are supposed to structure, right? This is the terminologies I need to use. Done? Right answer, get them evaluated. This is like a guide for you. This is one guide. Done. This is one resource you have. Apart from this, the next is almost everything is there on your website itself. On the website, I told you already, related to what? Service guide. To learn about the services, you have the service guide. Under the about section. And then you have daily current affairs you get. Under the current affairs section, you have daily current affairs analysis. Every single day you get it, except for Sunday, every single day. Every single day. Daily PIB analysis is there. Every single day you get the PIB analysis. Every single day you get the editorial analysis. Most of the times when you read the newspaper, you will not be able to understand. Here what happens, you get the content, news item along with the background. Proper background will be available here. Clear? After this, you have on a daily basis the Hindu newspaper analysis separately. Hindu newspaper analysis. Separately you have it. And the daily current affairs quiz also is there. All of it comes under current affairs section. This much work is done on a daily basis. And now, apart from this, what else do you have? Related to current affairs, on a daily basis, on the YouTube channel, your respective faculty, see, unlike most of the places where current affairs are done, as I have seen, current affairs is done in this manner. Today's current affairs, one person will take up the current affairs and explain it. Right? What we have done is that last 1 week, what current affairs have happened, what current events have happened related to your polity and governance, one day. So you can just follow the YouTube channel, right, where you have Legacy IAS channel. In that, current affairs 1 hour, 1 hour per day. What will it cover? One subject per day, current affairs of previous week. In this subject, what has happened in the previous week? The advantage of this is that most of the times what happens, something happens today, an update of it happens next day. Both the days news has come. Now you learn it holistically. The most important topics are discussed here. Clear? So this is also current affairs. Now apart from this, you get the current affairs magazine and PIB magazine every month. Under the resources section, monthly CA magazine and also monthly PIB magazine is available. This much is done. For current affairs, you have this much. I am saying don't do anything for now. Don't do anything. Just spend half an hour to 45 minutes on only this. Newspaper, if you have time, read 1 or 2 editorials. After that, spend half an hour on this. Only this one, as of now. Don't do any of the stuff. For the next 2 to 3 months, don't worry about it at all. Worry about what? Classes. What has been taught in the class, I will be 100% thorough with it. 100% thorough. This week something has been done. Next week if I ask you, you should be able to tell. It should not be like, sir, what about current affairs? I'll study current affairs. Okay, you studied current affairs. At least tell me current affairs. Current affairs also I don't know. What has been taught in the class also I don't know. What is it you achieved? Net is 0. Never put yourself in that position. Clear? Okay. Apart from this, what else do you have? In the resources section itself, you also find UPSC notes. I'll tell you which are all the ones which you are supposed to refer to later on when I take the book list class, right? What are all the things you need to refer to from here? From here also you have to refer. So standard books are not required for many of the subjects. So we have put it there itself. Whatever content was there from the faculty, right? Standard content was there. That has been converted into the text form. Their notes has been converted into text form, made much more refined, much more structured, value addition, everything. You have it here. We have done it. I'll tell you which one to refer, which subjects to refer from here. Apart from this, there is a very, very important section. You need not go anywhere. You find everything here itself. That's going to be your PYQ research and analysis. This section is very, very important for you. PYQ research and analysis, like proper segregation, all the analysis that needs to be done is done here. You can go question by question, subject wise you can go. So you can find everything here from 2013 onwards. Prelims, mains, both. Okay. What else do you need? Do you need anything else?
Organizing the day, I mean, like working professionals, 10 to 7, it might be job, when to study and when not.
Always, before work, 70% of the study should happen. 70 to 75% of the study should happen before work. Right? If you have 5 hours time, 70 to 75% of those 5 hours should be spent on studies before work. Rest 25-30% after work. Always. Why? Because you will not be able to study after work. You might tell to yourself, sir, I'll be able to do it. You'll be able to do it, but not efficiently. Leave only 25 to 30% of study for after work. Yes, 70% before work itself. Sir, I start my work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Is there anyone like that? 6 o'clock? Nobody. So at 7 o'clock, anybody starts work? So there are people from, anybody from Japan shift? No one. Okay. People who are working for the Japanese company, they have to start at 6 probably. No one like that. 10 o'clock, most of the people will be 10. You're all 10-ish people. So for 10-ish people, no problem. You have to start at 5 o'clock. Start your day at 5. So 5 to 9. It's a very, very enjoyable journey. Trust me. If you study for 1 week or 2 weeks from 5 to 9, you are going to feel like I am on a different, in a different world altogether. You are going to feel it. Now, on the other hand, if you think only about outcomes, this is another mistake most of the people do. You only think about outcomes. The problem with this thinking is that if the outcome is nearby, the possibility of an outcome is nearby, then it serves as motivation. If the possibility of the outcome is too far, then it is going to be problematic for you. In this case, the outcome is too far. You will lose motivation. So do not look at the outcome, only look at the process. Right? What gain you are making on a daily basis, how better you are becoming than yourself from yesterday, how better you are becoming compared to other people around you as an individual in terms of knowledge. If you just keep these as benchmarks for yourself, life becomes easier. Get out of Instagram immediately. Immediate. As in, अभी है तो अभी uninstall कर दीजिए. Get out of Instagram, get out of Telegram, get out of Facebook. Stay on YouTube for, content maybe. Content what? Whatever I told you, to watch current affairs, only that. Apart from that, anything you are watching related to UPSC, that's going to be about what? Not toppers, not this strategy, not that strategy, nothing. Maybe you might look at a person who is talking about UPSC, you are attracted to that person, hey, this person is good, telling nicely. Don't listen. Don't listen. Topper comes and says something on YouTube, don't listen. Yes, stop it. If you don't stop, there is no course correction possible later. Understood? Life is easy when you keep things simple. When you want it to be more complex, it only becomes much more complicated. Your life becomes very, very complicated in this preparation. Yes? Done? Anything else? He asked one question. Anything else you want to ask?
How do we time manage ourselves? Like, we start studying a particular subject. So since we are working as we are exceeding, like probably we think 3 hours is supposed to finish this, but if we exceed the time limit, so
See, simple logic for now. Next 3 months, simple logic. 6 hours of class is done on Saturday, 6 hours of class is done on Sunday. How many hours? 12 hours. On a daily basis, I asked you to study current affairs for how much time? 1 hour. 1 hour is gone. How much more time I am going to study on an average? How much more time can you give? Maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. Let's suppose 3 hours, right? At least 3 hours. People who are going to college, maybe 2 hours. It does not matter. People who are not going to college but work, you are supposed to give 3 hours, let's say. If you are giving 3 hours, how many days? 5 days. We'll take 4 days. Okay? 4. How many hours? Repeat exactly what has been taught in the class. First do that. That's all. Just do this thing. Along with this thing, if you are left with time, if you feel like I am able to revise it in 6 hours, 12 hours class was done, but I was able to revise it in 6 hours because I was very, very attentive in the class. Then add to this NCERT. Same chapters. Study that. 2 to 3 months, just do this. Don't do anything else. See, you will be motivated automatically after that. You will only stretch yourself, your hours will be stretched, you are going to stretch yourself, you will be able to study. First, do this work. Time management, strategy, answer writing, advanced stuff comes later. First, we have to start. What was the first thing I told you? Nelson Mandela? It always seems impossible until it's done. Right? So, there is one more thing. In order to reach a destination, first you have to start. You start. Yes? Without starting, if we think about complexity, we will never start. This is a starting point. 12 hours of class, what am I going to do? 12 hours in a week, I am going to study exactly what has been taught. Along with that, add NCERTs. I'll be picture perfect by the end of next week. Done. After that, 1 hour every day, whatever is coming in the daily current affairs section, I'll visit, I'll read it. I'm not able to understand certain things which are there in that daily current affairs. It's fine. No problem. Eventually, I'll understand. Yes, next. Anything, sir?
For example, I start a class with one subject. I start to read the current affairs. Basically, current affairs is from all the subjects, right? Usually. So, how do I think about it? Like, I'll go through the current affairs. Do I need to add it to a notes?
No, nothing.
I'll
Nothing.
just read it as a book, like just a.
Yes, that's it. For now, that's the only thing you are supposed to do. That's the only thing. Now you might be thinking, sir, 3 months current affairs I studied, you are not asking us to, make notes out of it, right? It is all lost. It's a waste of time. You are cultivating a habit. Yes, whatever you missed in these 3 months, you will be able to add it all within 10 days towards the end. 3 months current affairs, not more than 10 days is required. If you are good with the subjects. First, you have to become good with the subjects. Foundations, if you are strong with, say for example, if you give me an article on, what is relevant for the examination on economics. What is relevant for the examination on economics? If you give me an article, I don't think I'll be able to pick up more than 2 to 3 lines from the entire article. Rest of the stuff I already know. Yes? How do I know about rest of the stuff already? Because I have studied the books properly. I'm good with the books. Now current affairs becomes an addition. Clear? Next. Anything here? Nothing. Nothing. No one. Online people, you ask something. Okay. The final thing I want to talk about is the mentorship related stuff. You make the entries on a daily basis, right? I think if you run through the entire portal itself, you'll be able to understand. I'll explain to you briefly as to how it works. In very simple terms, I'll tell you how it works. So what you are supposed to do on a daily basis is that first there is something called as subject proficiency. Okay. Subject proficiency. What does it track? This is one. The second section is going to be about your daily section. What does this track? And the third section is going to be is readiness or test section. These are the three sections you have broadly. The subject proficiency is about what is there in this is that every single subject we have spoken of so far, every single subject. So you have a subject, so paper basically, GS1 paper, under GS1 paper I have a subject, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3 and subject 4. When you open a subject, first of all, whether this subject is for pre or mains, that is already mentioned there, and there is a tracker for it. So if it is pre only subject, a single tracker would be there. If it is pre plus mains, you are going to get a double tracker. When you open a subject, you get two things. So when I open this particular subject, I get two things at the top. One is going to be PYQ heat map, pre-PYQ heat map, right? If it is mains only, then you don't get pre-PYQ heat map, you directly get mains PYQs. What are all the mains PYQs in this subject? You get it there itself. So when you open a subject, if it is pre plus mains, you get both these. If it is pre only, you get only pre-PYQ heat map. If it is mains only, you get only this part. It is just for quick reference. Now when I open this, I get all the chapters listed. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, like this. So under the subject, you have these many things. All the chapters are listed. And for each chapter, there is a task you are supposed to complete. Roughly 6 tasks are supposed to be completed. What are the tasks? Did I attend the class and did I study it? Did I make the short notes? Short notes as in, did you write the class notes properly or not? Did you complete the class notes? And then did I do the PYQ analysis? Pre-PYQ analysis did I do? Mains PYQ analysis did I do? And revision 1, revision 2, revision 3. These are the tasks that you are supposed to complete for every single chapter. And on top of each chapter, on the side of each chapter, there are pills which are given, which tell you how important they are for pre and mains. For pre, it is 1% important. For mains, it is 12% important. Which means what? This chapter is very, very important from mains perspective. How did we decide this? On the basis of previous year questions, heat maps. Now, what is your work? Your work is not to worry about all these things. Your work is what? Today I studied this chapter, I attended the class, studied this chapter, mark it. The moment you mark it, chapter progress will be shown, subject also gets progressed. Because it is both a pre plus mains chapter, what will happen? The progress will be made where? Here to some extent and more here. Why? Because mains it is more weightage. Clear? Getting my point? Yes? You did this, short notes as in class notes also you completed, mark it. Pre-PYQ analysis also you did it. From where? From the website you went there and you checked all the questions related to that chapter, done. Mains also you saw the questions, you did the analysis, okay, these are the types of questions that come. This much you did. Clear? Now, on the same day, I went into a different subject. There also, You have all the chapters listed. Do the same task. Next week, probably, I thought of revising this chapter. I come back, go to that very chapter, revision 1, you can mark it. Yes? Clear? All of it that you are doing related to all the subjects will contribute to your subject proficiency score. How good you are with the subjects. You will get a single score there. The day you reach in this one, the day you reach 60%, you will be a different person altogether. I am promising you this, you will be a completely different person. 60%, not 100%. 60% you reach. You will be a person on autopilot, mostly. But, sir, 60%, what is there? Today only I will sit and mark everything. I am talking with honesty. With honesty. This is one. See, all we have tried to do, I have put in a lot of work for this. All I had in mind was that I wanted something really, really objective. When a person uses something, there has to be objectivity in it. The person should see some sense in it. Right? So we have tried to breathe in some sense into it. It's not just marking randomly. See, if I complete a chapter, 100% of the chapter is done. No. 100% of the subject is done the moment you complete, let's say there are 10 chapters, I complete 8 chapters, 80% is done. No, that's not how it works. Maybe those 8 chapters are not so important. The other 2 chapters are very, very important. Maybe those 8 chapters contribute only 50% of the syllabus. The other 2 chapters are the most important. For example, Parliament. Parliament alone takes somewhere around 14% weight of entire polity. 14% out of how many chapters? 80 chapters are there. Think about it. 14%. One single chapter. Yes? So if you leave Parliament and study rest of the chapters, by that measure you have completed 95% according to if you just mark it like that. But actually you have completed what? 85% only in reality. Yes? So that is why we have done this. This work you have to do. On a daily basis you have to log. Log what? How much time you spend. This is about time spent. On current affairs, how much time you spent. On CSAT, how much time you spent. And on studying your what? Newspaper or editorial, how much time you spent. And then there is one more thing, static or optional subject, whatever it is, how much time you spent on it. Overall, studying. For this, newspaper separately, CSAT separately, CA separately, current affairs separately. To start with, CSAT, who is already good, 80 plus if you are scoring continuously, you can directly mark it as 30. 30 minutes you have spent on it, right? That's an advantage you have. Newspaper, editorial, morning, right? Sometime during the break, 20-25 minutes you have to study this. Current affairs, I told you 1 hour. Rest of the time, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever time you study, rest of the stuff, you make an entry here. Tests, when you get the tests, codes are given. Whichever test you take, how much score you got, you make an entry. Done. Every single thing at one place. Yes? How much time do you think you require to do this stuff per day? Just to mark. You are not doing so much work, trust me. 2 minutes is more than sufficient. You are not doing so much work. Like, sir, I have to mark 10 chapters. No, you have studied only 2 chapters. You have only done this much. Hardly it takes not even 2 minutes if you ask me. 2 minutes work. Now, if you are not doing this 2 minutes work, it means you are not doing anything. When you have actually done, when you have actually studied for 3 hours, 4 hours in a day, don't you want a feedback? You want a feedback. What will you do? You'll go and mark it there. The day you have not done it, you'll not even go there, which means you have not done anything. The day you do something, you are going to make an entry, right? My suggestion is, end of the day, you sit down before hitting, before going to bed, before going to sleep, open it, mark it. You'll remember exactly how much time you have spent. Yes, you mark it, go to bed. This is like a feedback for yourself. It pushes you every week. At the same time, when you go to the mentor also, they will be able to guide you properly. Clear? In the test, there is answer writing practice as well. When you write 2 answers or 3 answers in a particular subject, you can make the entry of that also. Like I have written 2 answers on post-independent India, you can just make an entry there. Right? That will also count to progress. Now, you get a consistency score for this, by the way. What consistency score? Weekly consistency score, daily consistency score, monthly consistency score, and an overall consistency score. This score is different. This score is different. And you get a score for the tests you take and the scores you get. That is known as exam readiness. You get an exam readiness score as well. Now, on the basis of all the three, your success in pre and mains is determined by the mentor. Mentor will get to know how much probability you have to clear the pre, how much probability you have to clear the mains, and what else should be done for you to become successful. But you have to be very, very honest with this. You have to be very, very honest. Right? Clear? Okay. Next week we will meet again. Probably next week I am going to have a book list class. That book list class will take probably 2.5 hours. We'll make a list of each and every single book or every single subject, and then you will have 1 more week time. Within that 1 week's time, you do some research here and there, or if you already have some books, you bring them or make a list of them, whatever you have in mind, bring it to the mentor, show it to the mentor, sir, this is the book list given in the class, these are the books I have in my mind. What is it I am supposed to do? Should I exchange or should I stick to this? Which books can I exchange? Once that is finalized, you are not going to change it. It's a promise you are going to make to yourself that you are not going to change it. You are not going to add anything, you are not going to delete anything. Yes? Shall we leave? Done? Okay. Thank you. All the very best. See you again next week. You have 2 tasks, by the way. What are the 2 tasks? Entire thing that is there in the syllabus. What is the second task? A sentence about each word that is there in the main syllabus. There is one more task I gave you. CSAT. The third task is CSAT. Assessment of CSAT 2026-2025 paper. Okay, I need this course when I take the next class. You make a promise? Yes? Done. Thank you. Online people, thank you.